I think I'm doing a better job asking more questions and having the customer talking more. But when I do different tie downs, similar to what you did on this call, where you're like, right, yes, just getting verbal agreement, it's more so along leaning towards the ends of dry, one worded responses of like, okay, yeah, I'm listening versus like actual, like they are recepting what I'm saying and I'm actually tying them down. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so let me just reiterate. You're saying that you're using tie downs, asking questions, and you're getting one word answers back.
Too many.
Okay, so first of all, I got it. Yeah, that's all you have to say. So if you're asking yes or no questions, first of all, you're going to get a yes or no answer, right? So if you're asking interview questions, right? Like, so how long have you worked there? 10 years. What the hell else is there to say, right? Yeah. So part one, start asking conversation questions, right? Instead of, so Malik, and this is just part one, do you currently have a website? That's a yes or no question, right? Instead, I might ask you, so tell me about your current website. What do you like about it? What do you want to change? How long have you had it? Right? Number two, this is critical. Use layered follow-up questions to dig deeper. So when they give you a short answer, never, ever, ever move on, because that tells me they're not in, they're not sold, or their mind is not focused. So I might gut check them a little bit and say, hey, you with me, John? I just want to make sure, because that was kind of a vague answer. Are you looking at my screen right now? Can you see where I'm pointing to this? Let me know when you're there. This is really important, right? This is one way to do it. Another thing, if you ask about the website, they're like, yeah, we have one, right? Don't move on. You might say, gotcha. Now, is that something that you had professionally built, or did you set that up yourself, right? So I'm layering. No, we set it up. Interesting. And when you set it up, what was the main goal that you had in mind for the business when you had that site built? Right? So do you see how I'm asking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions in a row about the same single topic to get more depth? Now, it depends on the pit. Like, every scenario is different. That's why sales is kind of nuts. If you're at the end and you're saying a final tie down, like, so Malik, can you see how if we had your business up there on the front page, you would get more calls? And they're like, that's different. Now, in that scenario, I might say, okay, you don't sound 100% in, John. That was kind of a vague response. So is there something that's, clouding your vision, or that's blocking your mind, or something that's, stopping you? Usually people are fairly excited. They say, yes, absolutely. Is there something that you're still concerned about? Well, yes, Malik, actually there is. I've heard the same bullshit from 100 different people and I've got burned. All right, now we're having a real conversation. Now I have to handle an objection before I move on, right? So now I'm going to dig, and I'm not going to go down the whole rabbit hole unless you want me to, but I'm going to start digging. Okay, well, we both know there's a million things that could go wrong anytime there's a business relationship. So why don't we start by you telling me what exactly went wrong that you didn't like with the previous provider that you work with, just so I can make sure if we work together, we don't repeat the same mistakes of the past, right? So now they're going to start telling you, okay, well, their customer service was crappy. I got the guy's phone number. I tried to call. They never answered their phone. Okay, well, I'm so glad you brought that up. Let me reiterate. With this Elevate plan, we actually designed this to have the brand advisor for that exact reason. Here's how often you're going to meet with them, and here's exactly what they're going to go over with you. Ba-ba, 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 ba-ba. Now, knowing that, John, does that make you feel more comfortable moving forward with a company like us that's going to give you a premium level of customer service? Because I know you said that was important to you. Oh, yes, Charles, actually, thanks for sharing. That makes me feel much better. Great. Moving on. Right?
Fire.
All right. And then lastly, pre-frame the questions. So you have to think a little bit so that they feel comfortable sharing, right? So sometimes a one-word answer will happen because the prospect doesn't know why you're asking that question, okay? So if you come out of the woods or out of the blue with asking them how much revenue they make each year, and also this goes down the line of my other training on asking questions in order of intimacy. You haven't earned the right yet, right? You're not like this with the client yet, right? But if you just come out sideways and ask them like an intimate question, and they don't know the reason why you're asking, they're not going to divulge the full truth, right? So you might say something like, if you get a short answer, like, the reason why I'm asking is so that I can figure out, Anthony, exactly how I can get you the fastest results. So in your experience, what's been the biggest challenge in getting new customers online, right? So now I'm pre-framing, so he's going to be like, wow, let me dig deep and spill my guts and tell you everything, right? Because that makes sense, because I want customers fast. So if that's another thing you might need to be mindful of, Mike, I'd have to listen to your call, obviously, to know more. The final thing I'll say on this note is you have to mix in curiosity with opinion-based questions, because everybody loves talking about themselves. People love sharing their opinion on shit. So you might say something like, yeah, so what's your opinion, John, on, Home Advisor, whatever, right? Or if you could snap your fingers and change one thing about your marketing, what would it be, right? What's the one thing your competitors seem to be doing online that you wish you were doing in your business right now that you're not, right? So things like that and opinion questions, right? People are going to be more likely to share. So you want to ask the easier questions early, and then once you're deep enough into the call, you can kind of ask anything you want. But if you follow that formula, you should no longer hear one-word answers.
That's super fire.